Well, it has been a minute since we've had a totally normal schedule on the channel. I apologize. I have had an incredibly busy last few weeks / month in general. I typically am a busy person. Even if I'm not working, I have a lot of other things that I do. I volunteer for things and stuff like that. And I also got sick, so that is why you guys did not have an upload earlier this week. I thought I'd get that out of the way right away in this video, but today we're gonna be seeing if we can kind of do a little bit of paint correction on the Mustang. Also, I've been really experimenting with new shooting styles and different forms of color grading and stuff like that, so if the video quality at the end of this video sucks, I'm sorry. Just so you know, I'm working on it and it will be improved in the future. So the Mustang is probably the most aesthetically clean and good condition car that I have owned to date. But with that being said, the paint still really needs some help. I tried this Turtle Wax polishing compound. This polishing compound, I'm blocking my face so it'll actually focus on it, is not really aggressive enough to really cut into the deep scratches that we have in the paint. I'm hoping we don't have to actually wet sand or anything like that. Not that I can't do it, I've done it before. Well, not on like factory paint, I guess, but it's not like we can't do it, but hopefully we won't have to. But we're gonna stop by a local parts store and see if we can get some stuff to cut a little bit deeper. But I have that. I also have this beautiful, incredibly high quality patents pending. Not just one patent, you see that? We got patents pending. Multiple patents are pending for this device, so it must be good. But I got this just from Walmart. It's halfway decent. One thing though is that I don't have compressed air to blow this out between. I used to have a compressor. It died right before I moved, unfortunately, and I haven't bought another one because I want to get one that's actually good and is gonna handle everything that I need it to. What was that? I think a very large bug just ran into my light at a high speed. That was so loud. I don't know if it came across on the camera, but wow. But I don't have a compressor here right now, which is a tragedy. What? I'm worried that the sickness that I've had has spread to my brain. I don't know. But it's a bit of a travesty, I guess is the word I was going for. I'm not even sure anymore. But I don't have 220 power in the garage right now. That's something that I need to get run here in order to run two things that I would really like, which is a mini split and a 60-gallon compressor. So, I don't know. That'll happen at some point. I have a lot of stuff I need to do to this garage. It needs a new roof. I probably need to run a drain tile because the foundation leaks in a couple spots because there's a concrete pad right behind it and it's dumb. So we're gonna see if we can just plug this in and maybe run it and we'll be able to spray it out with this compressed air. I have no idea. This is just like your stupid duster thing that you can buy anywhere. It's probably not gonna work great, but we'll see what we can do. We're just gonna try to do the hood today because the hood is really obvious. Let me show it to you. It's not looking great. You can see all of the imperfections and scratches and stuff in this paint. And what's really interesting to me is there's a few examples of, if I can get them in the camera, around here what kind of look like fingerprints almost. Yeah, you can kind of sort of see them. It's so hard to get the lighting to work, but yeah. See, it kind of looks like fingerprints or whatever. That's actually not fingerprints. This hood is pretty dang clean right now. That is all individual little scratch marks. Silver is a color that is hard to make really shine super bright in general and kind of just looks as it looks, even if it's not in like super pristine condition. But black is very obvious, and because this car's two-tone from the previous owner, we got some work to do on this black. So let's get the stuff that we need from the parts store. And because we can, why not do a nice little startup? This shot is way overexposed. don't know if any of you guys have watched previous videos where I've done a startup before we had the newer Bama tune on this car. I don't know what tune was on this car beforehand, before I had it reflash back to stock. But that previous tune seemed to neuter the like startup a lot more than it does on the Bama tune for some reason. Because before, I thought the startup seemed kind of not that loud for how loud the car can be with the long tubes and everything. But anymore, I don't know if I really want to make it a lot louder, just because I don't want to bother my neighbors. Like, this is pretty much my daily driver. If I have to drive it late at night or something like that, I don't really want to ruin everyone's day or night. So I think we're probably going to leave the exhaust as it is for right now, because at startup, it's gotten pretty loud. Doesn't bother me. I think it's amazing. I wouldn't care if it was louder, but I don't want to affect everyone else either. We're back. It only took way longer than I meant for it to take, but I went to like 3 different places, and the first one didn't have what I was looking for. The second one did have what I was looking for, but the price was jacked up way too high. The third one I went to, again, did not have what I was looking for, but they did have this, and it was cheap, and I'm gonna ignore my normal buy cheap, buy twice advice, and see how well this does. I'm sure it'll do better than the polishing compound by Turtle Wax. It's kind of a good idea, at least in my opinion, to have 2 of the same brand for kind of doing the same thing. So we're gonna see how this goes. If you're a professional detailer, you might not want to watch this, because I'm probably going to hurt your feelings and or I don't know, give you trauma. So look, I'm not a professional detailer, but I am a guy who likes to try to learn to do stuff by himself. So we'll see how this goes. I honestly have no idea. It might go poorly, it might work pretty well. There's really only one way to find out. So step 1 of not what a detailer would probably recommend, I am gonna wipe off the hood of the car with a damp microfiber and then dry it off, because the car is not really dirty. It's been driven a couple times. I'm just gonna try to get some of the dust off the surface. I'm probably not gonna polish the whole car today. We'll see how this goes, first of all. If you're trying to do a professional detailing job, this is probably the worst way to do it. Just clean the car first. But I did this the other day, and I have no idea how well this rubbing compound's even gonna work in the first place, so let's find out. So if this video contains a lot of shots that are framed kind of weirdly, that would be because my full-size tripod has disintegrated ever since I started using it again. So we're using my normal kind of more like vlogging setup tripod, which means I have limited ways in which I can place it and still get an okay shot. Hopefully the results end up okay, but I don't really know. All right, well, let's just get her wiped off, and then we'll dry it up. Again, I know this is probably the worst way to do this possible, but this is more of an experiment than professional detailing advice. And it is pretty hot out today. It's in the 80s, and I probably should have been wearing shorts. And yes, for any of those who it disappoints to learn that I'm not an icon of fashion, yes, I do wear shorts because I value practicality. And we got these nice drying towels. And yes, you are supposed to apply this to a dry, clean, and cool surface. This is not exactly a hot surface, but it probably could be cooler, but we're not in direct sunlight, which it says not to do, so we're at least partially following the rules. Try to give it a weak little blow off with this. That might have helped barely, I don't know. Apply 4 dime-sized. Be careful, don't mess up. Don't make it nickel-sized. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. And then we're just gonna try this. And no, I'm not gonna tape anything off or do anything fancy or probably what I should be doing. I'm fine, you convinced me, shut up. Oh, my dogs. Hi. What are you guys doing out here? What sort of person I'm married to let you guys out here? Okay, let's see. I kind of put this on, so I sort of have to do this now. All right, let's see what it does. Now if you watch this and you think, wow, this guy's really not a professional, yeah, you would be correct. Let's wipe it off and see what it looks like after that very brief amount of time. Does it look any better? It's hard to say. I'm not 100% sure if it does or not yet. I think that might have brought a little bit more shine back, but it definitely has not gotten through all of those deeper scratches. But if we compare it, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's still a lot of scratches, like a lot of scratches that it just really didn't go through. And I mean, these are scratches that are still in the clear coat, but it's really not cutting through that. We'll go ahead and give it another shot and just see what it does. Let's tape off a small section of the hood and see if we literally see a difference side to side. Obviously it's harder to tell as you're just doing it like this. So we'll see what that does. I am going to tape off a small section of this. And if you're thinking, hey, if you don't do the whole thing, it's not gonna look that good. Well, yeah, it's probably just not gonna look that good. It doesn't already, it has so many scratches on it. If it doesn't look great, it's really not the end of the world. So we're gonna tape off a little box and see what sort of difference we get, because I'm honestly not sure that that's hardly cutting into what we're kind of trying to do at all. So we'll spray this off again. That's gotta be doing at least definitely near nothing. So put this back on here and see if this rubbing compound does almost anything, because I don't know that I'm convinced it does. So we'll see what that looks like at this point. If there's actually any sort of obvious change. I mean, it really doesn't look like it, unfortunately. It just doesn't seem like this is really strong enough to attack that grit in the same way. Let me make sure I wipe that off too. So we'll see if our box looks any different, but I don't think I'm personally convinced. So we'll peel off this tape and see what we got. That literally looks exactly the same, if not maybe slightly worse. Here's our box. Obviously we got a little bit of film around the corners. So there's that, that's nothing really to look at. But if you look at the paint from one side of the box to the other, there is like no perceivable difference whatsoever. This is not doing a freaking thing. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but personally, I've used Turtle Wax products a few different times. I have never once been impressed with their products. Maybe you have a different opinion than me, but considering this says it's a precision cutting technology that cuts and removes medium to heavy stains, oxidation, and scratches with superior cutting power, it sure does not work that well. I mean, last thing I would say is we can use this microfiber pad and see if that makes any difference, but honestly, I'm not very impressed. And I know, again, this is probably not the optimal product for what I'm doing. I fully admit that. So I'm not gonna say that it's totally this product or, you know, whatever, Turtle Wax's fault in general. I don't really think that's fair. I don't think that I'm using it as it's probably intended to be used, but I just feel like I should be seeing some form of difference, and I am honestly not seeing a bit of anything. So we'll cover off a small area. We'll tape off a small area, that is, again, and that was way too much. We got one glob significantly larger than the other. So we'll tape off a small area again and just see if we get any sort of difference, but I'm not gonna lie, this piece of tape's way too small, let's put it over here. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of disappointed with this product. and its ability to do almost anything. Now, I mean, I do get that as a detailer, or not a detailer, but a polishing or rubbing compound or whatever that is meant to cut, that it's probably not gonna leave a super shiny finish, but I would expect more cut to those kind of bigger scratches in one way or another. I don't expect it to get everything, but I thought it'd make more of a difference than it honestly has so far. It also says, like I said, to move faster as it goes. Let's try to go a little faster this time and see what it does. Woo! Alright, so we'll see how that did. Again, oops, wipe this off real quick so we can get a clear comparison. Move this tape out of the way and remove our tape box, and, well, actually no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna wipe this off first. And we're gonna remove our tape box and see if that did a single thing. And I'm gonna say, by looking at this for 5 seconds, the answer is, it really didn't. I think all this did is just put a million more tiny little micro scratches on everything. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't think this is a great product. Now, honestly, tell me your thoughts in the comments. And if I'm doing something completely wrong, which I'm sure is possible, I'm not a detailing expert. I'm a detailing novice at best. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, I fully admit and accept that. Whatever. But does this or does this not just seem like an awful result no matter what way you slice it? I mean, you can see it's done very little at all to get these deeper scratches out, but it has, on the other hand, put like a million more tiny fine little scratches in the paint underneath. I don't know, I kind of think the verdict is this stuff isn't that good. We'll try to wipe this off and get these like hard lines out of here and then take a look at it and see how it compares after that. This might be the worst detailing product I personally have ever used. That has done absolutely nothing to improve the paint, but it has made it worse. So again, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert at this, because I'm not. And you saw from the very beginning, I admitted I wasn't doing this in precisely the right way that you probably would if you were a professional, but I mean, come on. That is a pretty terrible result no matter what way you slice it. If any of you guys use Turtle Wax products and you enjoy them and you think that they're worth it, maybe you have used this product and you think that it worked for you, let me know what you did differently than me, because I don't think I could hardly be less happy with this product if I was being honest. Literally, both of these have not done a thing at all to improve the paint quality on the car, or not improve the paint quality, but improve the finish one bit. Like, not even slightly. I guess back to square one on that one. Again, feel free to leave your comments about what you think I should do differently, or what you think the problem might be, or what you would suggest in the comments. I guess we'll go from here. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see if we figure this out in the future. And I appreciate all of you guys who stop by and watch videos, and I'll see you all next time.